This is Waste to Wealth, a podcast about turning your waste hauling business into a profitable, scalable, cash flowing machine. And now, here's your host, Michael McCall.
So welcome to Waste to Wealth. Dean, I'm so excited that you're joining me today to talk about how you help people with their sales. And we primarily help waste haulers with their business. We help a lot of, Buffalo Finances is our accounting firm. We help a lot of people, but the primary people that we help are waste haulers, like junk removal guys, dumpster rental, trash collectors. And everyone's got to sell. They have to sell as well. I'm sure that you probably have some things that they'd have to do. But why don't you tell me about you and your company and how you help people solve problems?
Yeah. So Michael, thanks so much. I appreciate you having me on your podcast. So at Ingage, we help companies create amazing content for their sales teams. We help them share it to make sure everyone has all the latest stuff when they need it, where they need it. And then we give them tools to measure how that content is impacting the sales. So let's say you have a sales presentation that you are using with your sales team. We make sure if they have it on their iPad, the latest version is always there, which is a huge thing when you don't even think about it. But, hey, is it version 7.7 on the shared drive or no? Everybody just has what they need. And then most importantly, if you've trained them in a particular way on how to actually use that content, we give the sales leadership the ability to view analytics to understand how people are actually using that content when they're face to face with a customer.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. So that way, when you are talking to a customer, you're not just winging it, right? You actually have a plan, you have a presentation ready to go. You can
That's right.
Sell them on what they really need, right?
That's right. And what we find, the most successful customers that we have do a great deal of training on sales process. And then that sales process is baked in to the sales content that they provide to the sales team. When the sales team has really great on-brand, and it's very interactive. So it's not your normal presentation. It's very interactive content, interactive sliders to show before and after, video, embedded videos that play without delay, no streaming buffering problems. So all of the content is there. What that does is it gives the sales rep confidence. A confident sales rep will close at a much higher rate because the materials they have support them in the journey that they're taking the customer on to educate them. Because I believe sales is a process of education, not of selling. And the better you can educate someone, the more likely they are to see you as the solution to the problem they have, not the piece of software or the technology that you need to buy. It's you're the solve for their problem.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because no one wants to get sold to. We really want to be informed and make it, a good decision, not because we got convinced, but because it's a good deal for our business.
That's right. I think the convincing is that you're basically convinced that the pain that you have can be solved by the solution that someone's saying, whether that's junk removal or software or home improvement, it doesn't matter. That whole idea of selling is no one wants, like you said, I think you said it really well. No one wants to be sold to. They want to be informed and educated and make a great decision.
Right. And they want to buy. I think Americans love to buy stuff. We can
true.
buy our solutions. We're happy to do that. Well, that's great, Dean. How did you get involved in this? Like what prompted you to start this business? And has it been, was it difficult tell me about how you started.
Yeah. So this business, it's a long story. I'll keep the long story to a condensed version. So the business that we have, the company's been around since 2008. And we were one of the first companies to do interactive touch experiences on touch devices. So if you think back to 2008, what was the only touch device that was really in the market? It was the iPhone.
Yeah, right. Yep.
So we were the first app to do books on the iPhone. So if you had a book on your iPhone back in 2008 from the App Store, we probably made it. Because what we had come up with was this interesting page turn technology to make the books interactive, very simple. From that, we built core competency around these interactive experiences, and the company evolved into a digital agency. So they were doing very high-end work, million-dollar apps for Fortune 500 companies. At the time, I worked at Apple, and we were part of a group that was bringing iPhone and iPad to business. and were building a partner program. So we recruited Ingage to be part of our partner program. And we convinced them to build a piece of software for the iPad that would take all of the things that they were doing in building these custom enterprise experiences into an app that Michael and Dean and anybody else who had a basic understanding of building a presentation could use those same interactive experience, could build those same interactive experiences. Fast
Wow.
forward to today. So I joined the company 9 years ago. Took us about 4 years to really understand that vision and get the product ready. And for the past 5 years, we've been selling the Engage solution to the market as this create, share, measure tool for sales teams.
Got it. So it sounds like you got into it after they had gotten started, and the company is
That's right.
really, they have the goal of helping people with their sales, and the tool is the digital product that you guys put together.
That's right.
But
And
the
because
result is what you want.
the business was actually helping people achieve the same result, but it was a very different delivery mechanism. The delivery was it was software that the company had created, but it required a lot of work on top of it, creative design, coding, and this product that we've built is no code. We help you with the design. Like we try to take all of the heavy lifting out
Mhm.
in order to put the power in the platform so that you can leverage it to build amazing interactive experiences for your sales teams that help them convert at a higher rate.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and you also mentioned measuring, and as a numbers guy, I think measuring is really important. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you don't even know if you're making progress. You're just hoping you are. So, what kind of things do you have to measure in your company or for sales teams?
Yeah, so I think there's several different things. So sales leaders want to know that the things that they're investing in on the back end are actually helping at the point of sale. So how do you inform sales and marketing leadership that the content that you enabled the sales team with is actually converting at the kitchen table? In our world, we serve the home improvement space primarily as our primary market. They want to know without having to do a four-legged sales call, without having to do the ride along, are my team members following the script that we've taught them on? So we give them a tool that they can visually see that when Michael went out to Dean's house, he actually spent 2 minutes in this section and 2 minutes in that section and 5 minutes here and 1 minute there to
Yeah,
see if they're following the script. We also give them the ability to compare different people. So let's say you have 5 sales team members. You can compare the sessions that they're doing. You can also look at it in aggregate. If you know you ran 50 appointments last week on your sales team, but you only see 35 presentation sessions, what
yeah,
happened to the other 15? Are we having tech issues where the iPads just aren't working and people haven't let you know? Are people not buying into the whole platform of what you're doing and how they believe it can help? Or what I love is because all those are kind of the big brother effect, oh, they're watching me. And I actually like the other side. Let's say you are enabled with the platform and you go out and you're selling at a 10% higher close rate than anyone else on the team.
yeah,
But when the sales leadership looks at how you're using your content, they see that it's not exactly how it was taught, but they now see that you're closing at a higher rate. Well, now maybe you can give feedback to the team of
right.
how everyone could be better using that content in their process.
Yeah, and maybe upgrade the content so everyone's going to get higher
That's
close
right.
rates. Yeah,
Another, just another great example. Let's say they go through and they look and the page seven, everybody skips over. It's 2 seconds time on page seven.
Mm.
Well, are people just not giving you feedback that there's a typo or that the video no longer works or whatever is happening on that page? It gives you a sense of how should I be updating the presentations and have that content to be ready to go for the team.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I love the idea of doing presentations to educate people and then having an opportunity for people to buy at the end of that presentation. So that works for my industry. I think on the waste hauling industry, they have to deal with people that are more like contractors. They're normally the target market of
Mhm.
waste haulers, and a contractor that's educated about how useful it is to have like a dumpster rental company that's responsive is really helpful for everybody. But if you've got there's contractors that think, hey, I can hire my own guys and get my own equipment, and they're actually losing out on revenue. So if a waste hauler can convince them or create content and educate them that partnering with them is going to save the contractor money, then they're going to have a great relationship and they're going to get constant sales. So
Totally.
do you work with people that have smaller transactions that don't require a big sales cycle, or maybe that like in the case I just gave you, the contractors that hire dumpster rental companies, they've got it's many orders. Like it's not just one order and then they have a relationship. It's, hey, starting a new project, now I have to make an order. You work with clients like that?
We do. I mean, we deal with all different business sizes. Our bread and butter is the person who has the longer sales cycle. They're going to come in your house. They're going to explain what a new roof is and the roofing system and the different layers and the colors and you know,
Sure.
they're in your home for a while. But we also have a lot of companies where the tech is the salesperson. So
Mm,
think of garage door replacement or concrete coatings or
yeah.
HVAC or something like that.
Yep.
The content is very different, but they still use content to convert at
Right.
whatever the point of sale is. You know, the point of sale might be virtual meetings. The point of sale might be a face-to-face conversation. The
Mhm.
content might be on an iPad or a computer, but it could also be on a phone.
Right.
So it really depends on the use case, and we work hand in glove during our onboarding process with our customers to really identify the best way to design content. And I say design intentionally. You
Mhm.
can't just create stuff. You have to intentionally design it to fit the process
Right.
that is most appropriate to convert that customer.
Hmm. Kind of work backwards. Like who are you trying to market to? Is
That's
it a
right.
homeowner? Is it a business owner? Like those are different avatars, right?
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Well, yeah, B2B, B2C, you're still selling something. You're still educating on a process. What
Right.
we find also is most sales processes are not linear,
Mhm.
meaning you don't start at A and go to Z and hit every letter in between. You go
Right.
from A to F and back to E and then up to Q and then back to W. You know, you're just all over the place because the way people think and how you can drive them to a result it has to be different. We're all different.
Right.
So that's another feature of what we do is being able to very easily navigate throughout the content that you have with different controls that we have technically in the platform. But to me, that's also a critical piece of any sales software you're deploying. Can it meet the needs of the sales rep in the face of the heat of the battle, right? Can
Right.
they move where they need to move to talk about the thing or to show the example or whatever it happens to be?
Yeah, it's hard unless you've had a lot of practice to react on your feet. Or like when an obstacle comes up or someone's like, "Oh, I'm not interested," to say the right thing to prompt the conversation
Yeah.
to keep moving forward. So
Yeah.
yeah, is that something that you got? How do you guys adapt to that challenge? That seems like a
Yeah, I
difficult.
like to think of it. And maybe I'm splitting hairs on words, but I like that a sales rep has the ability to respond rather than to react.
Mm.
So a reaction comes as like it's a reaction, it's a gut, it's a twitch
Yeah.
versus a response, which is intentional. And
Mm-hmm.
what we like to do is the best sales processes out there are very intentional on how to
Right.
handle objections, the path you should probably take someone down. We talk in this order about these things, and we know that that converts. But you have to be able to respond in the moment when all of a sudden you get punched in the face with a question you're not 100% expecting.
Right.
Having to, we're very biased in this approach, but having great content gives that sales rep the confidence to go back to a known place to present something
Yeah.
that will help that customer understand maybe a complex topic or combat the objection that they have.
Mhm.
Uh, those types of things I think are very additive to the sales process.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could see like if you have a salesman that is selling contracts, this is common. They're trying to sell long-term contracts for like front load cans for commercial waste.
Yep.
Those contracts are normally like 1 to 3 years, and then you want them to renew. And you have sales guys that go business to business to try to get those contracts. And most of the time, business owners are going to ask about the price, and they're just going to focus on the price. And you have to convince them that price is not everything.
Mm.
Even when it's talking about waste removal, you have to have consistent service. You want techs that aren't going to damage things because that happens. And if there is a problem, how are they going to get a hold of the company? Like it sucks to get a hold of a giant waste management company. Like publicly
Yeah.
traded companies, they have They have people in India answering the phone. They don't know where you are. But if you have if you have a local presence, you're going to be able to help those business owners. And so if you put that in a presentation that they can pull up when it comes up in the conversation. And
Well, the reality is they need to tell the right story. And when I think the best sellers are the best storytellers.
mm-hmm.
So if you want to bring someone along a journey to help them understand how you solve their problem, if you just give them feature after feature after feature, they're going to close down. But if
Yeah.
you tell them a story about how you solved the customer success nightmare that they had when the thing wasn't going right at the site, and the story is going to sell. Well, how do
Yeah.
you support that with great visuals or a video or a testimonial, or like
Mm-hmm.
that kind of content is super, super important in any sales process.
Right. Oh, I can totally see it now. Like, so we had a circumstance where maybe this would go into one of the presentations. We had a local person call us. I used to run a dumpster rental business, so this is actually me. We had a local person, everyone's local, call us and say, "Hey, the guy that I hired, contractor that I hire, isn't getting back to me. They don't even know where my street is because their receptionist is in a different state. She's like in Ohio or something like that. And we're in North Carolina." And they called us up and we were able to help them out in just like 3 hours. Like we were there the same
Awesome.
day. And that would, who knows how long it would have taken a publicly traded company to solve that problem. And
That's
so
right.
that story gets the result and it's memorable, right? Oh, you helped out in an emergency because you're local, you know where the streets are. You're actually a human being in town. You're not far, far away.
Imagine the sales process, right? And you get asked that question, and the sales rep, can say, "Oh, I remember one time this woman called us and it was an emergency and we responded in 3 hours."
Mm-hmm.
What's more powerful? The sales rep relaying secondhand the information that they said, or having the ability to very easily navigate to the sales materials that you have, push play, no lag, and the person's video comes up and says, so it's a different sales motion.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
I have a great customer success story. Do you mind if I show that to you?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, would you tell me secondhand so I don't trust you? No, hear it right from the horse's mouth because you have access to that kind of stuff right in your
Right.
sales process.
Oh, so do you actually get customers to record their success
So
and then
powerful.
put it in?
Totally. Yeah.
Wow, that's a great idea. I
Yeah.
like
I mean,
that.
one of the things that a lot of people put, I mean, you want social proof of how you solve problems for people.
Right.
It's such a, anyone who's not using social proof to
Mhm.
help them in their sales process is missing a huge opportunity for conversion.
Yeah.
So why not have 10, 15 customer testimonials that answer the most common objections in your sales process and have them queued up so that the sales rep can show them live in the conversation with easy access to those.
Right. Yeah.
Way more convincing than telling this. I mean, the story's great, but
Mhm.
having the real testimonial pop up, that's
Right.
next level.
Well, that makes a lot of sense because if we like social verification that something's real and to hear the result come from someone else that's like us. So how do you gather that um, social proof? It probably is challenging
Well, I'll
to
tell you,
it's
a lot
not.
of people think it's challenging, but I think it's a lot easier than you think.
Mm-hmm.
The I think the person who's not comfortable creating content is going to say, well, I need to get a video person. I need to schedule all these things. Take out your cell phone when you're talking to them and have them talk to it. These
Mm-hmm.
things don't have to be the most polished, perfect lighting, perfect setting, perfect. No, the more I believe, this is my opinion, the more raw and authentic that is, the more it's going to resonate with the person that you're talking to. So
Yes.
don't overthink it. Just capture them. You never know when those types of things are gonna prove extremely valuable for you in your sales process or when you're creating content for your sales team. There's nothing more valuable than that personal testimonial.
Yeah, I definitely believe that because that's what I look for when I'm trying to figure out if I should work with someone. Who else have you
Totally. I mean,
helped?
look, everybody has Google reviews or whatever those, that they go and if I go and buy something on Amazon, I look at the reviews. If it's a decent, I mean, if it's a $10 purchase, I'm usually not looking at the reviews, but if I'm spending a significant amount on something,
Yeah,
I'm going to go look and see what the reviews are. What are people saying?
right.
Well, why wouldn't you do that for your product as well, no matter what it is?
Hmm.
Even if it's a junk hauling dumpster thing. I mean,
Right.
there's people who have had great experiences with you. Share those with your next best customer.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it goes along with your brand, right? Your brand is very valuable. Social proof is going to increase your brand value.
100%. I mean,
Yeah,
there's a reason you're doing a podcast. There's a
right.
reason I'm coming on podcasts. We believe that we help people solve problems. We need to tell those stories to go back to the original, conversation around, well, what is the value? It's storytelling.
Yeah.
What are all the means by which you can tell those stories? You can tell them in words, you can tell them in videos, you can communicate them orally. There's lots of different ways, but those stories sell. The
Hmm.
stories sell every single time.
I love it. So, do you have some more stories you could tell us about some customer successes? I mean, I guess it's secondhand, but I still would love to hear them if you have
Yeah,
some.
I don't have a presentation ready to bring them up. I'm like my worst, the cobbler's children have no shoes on this one. Um, we have lots of different ways that we help people. The way I like to think about it is, can we help you be more effective at whatever that number one metric is in your business? Is it closing more sales? Is it converting more leads? Closing sales, converting leads, similar but different, right? In the world today, especially in the market we sell into, which is home improvement, home services,
Mhm.
the lead flow has come down since the COVID boom. Like in the COVID boom, these companies had leads on leads on leads,
Right.
and they could literally not call half of them and still grow their company 100% a year. It was crazy.
Mhm.
Well, now lead conversion is the number one thing. So we have a number of customers, and this is part of our sales process, is helping you understand that if we can help you raise your close rate by 1%,
Mhm.
2%, 5%, 10%, and we've had people upwards of 20% increase in close rate, what does that mean materially to the sell through of your business?
Right. Yeah.
So
It's gonna if you increase it 2%, that I mean that's compounds, right?
absolutely. If you're a $1 million, easy math, if you're a $1 million a year company, right?
Mhm.
Or let's do 10 million, it's easier math. $10 million a year company, and we increase your close rate by 10%.
Mhm.
So that 10 can be 11 very, very easily. We can add $1 million in accreted value to your business.
Yeah.
Or if we can increase your average ticket. So you don't have to sell more, you just have to sell more to the same people. Or
Right.
if we can reduce the amount of time that someone's spending in the home
Mhm.
because we can make their sales process more efficient and they run one extra appointment a day and you close at a 25% rate or a 20% rate, which is terrible, but let's say you close at 20% rate, you're closing one more appointment every week. That's
Mhm.
how much more in your business, 20% raise. So like
Right.
all of these metrics are, and it depends. Every company's a little bit different what they measure the most. But net sales per lead issued is one that a lot of people will track,
Mhm.
and we help them improve that.
Yeah. Well, I think in the home services, most people rely on word of mouth, I think.
Mhm.
And that's just not a reliable way to get more customers. So if you rely on word of mouth, you're really shortchanging yourself and you're really just hoping and praying. I
Yeah,
like praying, but God wants us to be smart, right? And use our wisdom. So
that's very true. Well,
marketing and
I always
sales.
say I have a list of words on my wall, and one of the banned words in my world is the word hope. Not that I don't believe in hope. I think hope is an amazing thing. But in business, hope is not a strategy. There's a good book on this. I would replace the word hope with the word expect because we can't hope for things in our business. We need to expect them. And when we expect them, we're going to put strategy and tactics against that, not
Right.
just prayer.
Yeah.
And that to me is in the business world, we have to have a little bit more than hope. We have to have expectation.
Right. Well, if prayer is just talking to God, I think that it would be talking to God about how we're going to try things and listen to the feedback we get.
True.
We're kind of like experimenting with what works and what doesn't work. We have a hypothesis. We say I'm going to call like let's just say I'm going to call 50 people and try to set up 50 set up 10 appointments out of that, and I'm going to get feedback about how that goes. So
That's right.
I would pray before it and say, God, give me the courage to follow the script that I said I was going to follow,
That's
um,
right.
and then listen to that feedback. But it's not just
And
hoping
then
you get
no,
10
but then you
people.
say I'm going to make 50 calls. My expectation is I will connect on 10 of them. And then
Mhm.
if you don't connect on 10 of them, you need to go back and understand why you didn't, and now you have different expectations.
Right. Yeah.
You can
There's
learn.
probably cold. If they're cold calls, it's probably like if you do 100, you get one because
That's right. I'll,
like
I'll I'll go ask our SDRs after I'm here. I'll see what their connect rate is for the week.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah. Well,
probably more like
if they're
2%,
warm out, if
3%.
they're warm outreaches, they should be higher. But
Definitely.
cold is going to be way lower.
Very
Uh,
different conversion rates for sure.
mhm. Well, I'm curious about your company's journey and what kind of obstacles you faced that shifted what you did. Because you mentioned that you changed the technology that you use to help people. The goal sounds like it's still the same. You want to help people grow. You want to help
Yep.
companies grow. But what caused you to change to your current solution from what you were trying in the past?
It's all about scalability. We needed to build a more simple solution that allowed our customers to do more of the work and scale on their own. So
Okay.
the previous model was really a design agency model where you told us the requirements and we would build the thing and then we would deliver the thing and you would use it and you would come back and you would say, nope, we want these changes and then we would make those. It was very labor intensive going back and forth.
Mhm.
What we have now is a software platform where we want to teach you to be great and understand how to create in the platform so that you can create an infinite number of things to help your company be successful. So is
Mhm.
that pivot from done for you to do it yourself that really changed the game and allowed us to scale, but it also allowed our customers to scale in using the platform to build different types of content to make their business more successful.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I found that when I have the opportunity to try something on my own, I'm willing to start sooner than if I have to make a big commitment for
That's right.
someone. And also, they have capacity. When you're an agency, you have capacity issues. You can only help so many people.
That's right. And you can only scale through people, you can't scale through systems.
Right.
The way we have it now, we can scale through systems. We still do a lot. When someone signs on to the platform, we have a very detailed onboarding process. We help them get their first set of content up and running. I mean, there's nothing, I don't know about you, but I'm not great with a blank page. If you just put a blank page in front of me,
Yeah.
it's almost paralyzing.
Right.
But what we'll do is we'll come side by side with that customer and we'll help them get over the blank page problem by helping provide templates and samples and coaching on how they can design their content for their sales team.
Mhm.
That gets them off and running on the right foot so then they can then build, and it is kind of the snowball. Like we got to start small, we got to do something simple, but once it gets rolling down the hill,
Mhm.
it'll feed on itself and people will be enabled to create amazing things in our platform.
No, that makes sense. So most people, I guess if they don't work with a professional like yourself, then when they try to create content or create a sales slide presentation, they do start with a blank page, and they're like, "All
Right.
right, let me imagine all these things." But you probably have templates that have worked for
Totally.
people, and it's instead of creating from scratch, you tweak it, and then you can start trying it and then iterating. Does that sound
That's
right?
right. Iteration is one of your best friends when building content for your sales teams.
Hmm. Yeah. That makes me think of A/B testing. Does A/B testing work with sales presentations too?
Some folks do that. What they'll do is they'll use one version in one market and another in another market, and they'll compare the results. We don't have necessarily an A/B testing feature within the platform, but it's very easily to create a couple versions and send them to control who gets what, and then measure the results of how one is performing versus the other. Very
Hmm.
simple in our platform.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Good.
Yeah.
Well, what are some of the common pitfalls that you see with your
Hmm.
customers and the mistakes that they do over and over again that when you work with them, you just like remove those problems? Do you have any recurring problems you see with your clients?
Yeah, I'll give two. Number one, they come to a platform which helps them implement a sales process in content for their team, but they have no sales process.
Mm.
Like they don't understand it well enough, I should say, in order
Mhm.
to put it and embed it in the technology that allows their sales teams to be successful. So it's lack of understanding or clear understanding of their sales process. The
Mhm.
second is no clear plan for deploying technology. And I think this is not just in this business. I think this is everywhere.
Yeah,
We
I think so.
all read the article or see the thing and we're like, oh, this new technology is going to solve all of our problems in our business.
Right.
And I think that that planning process of understanding the change management required within a business in order for any piece of technology to be successful is undervalued and
Mhm.
underthought. So those two things, not understanding their sales process well enough and not having a great plan to deploy the technology, I think are the two biggest pitfalls that we see. Has nothing to
Yeah,
do with sales. I mean, it's
right.
the sales process, yes, but it doesn't have anything to do with anything except being ready to do the thing.
Yeah. So I like both. I want to talk both about both of those things because I see the same. And actually, I struggle with that stuff personally too, but I see it a lot with our clients. The way that customers are adopted is like all over the place. Like it's not planned. From what I see with a lot of my clients, they just kind of get them. And if there's not a purposeful way to do it, then that goes back to what we talked about with hope. You're just hoping that it works. So if you get this process, if you get this presentation for your salespeople, but it doesn't fit into a system, who knows how they're going to use that thing, right? Is that what
Totally.
you've seen? People
That's
just
right.
throw a
Well,
presentation at the sales team and they're like, good luck.
yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, think about what you're doing. You're saying I know you sell this way today, but we're going to introduce this new technology which it helps you sell a different way. What
Right.
sales rep is not going to push back against that unless they're like totally not successful. Any successful sales rep is going to say, "Whoa, time out, pump the brakes. I don't want any part of this because I'm already successful. I'm making
Right.
great money. I'm closing at a high rate." You have to help them see where it leads to more money for them and
Right.
then you'll get their buy-in. But
hmm
most people don't think about that. They just don't have a plan. But if it's here's the reality. If it's not connected to the money for the sales team, they're not going to adopt it.
Oh, that's
If it's
100%.
not connected to outcomes for whatever team that you're rolling a software solution out, if it's not tied to the outcomes that matter to them, it's going to be
Yeah.
very difficult to get their buy-in in the onboarding in the deployment of any technology.
Oh, 100%. And I bet the sales team has ideas that they would love. They're like, well, I'm glad you're trying something, but why don't we try this other thing first?
That's
And
right.
step one would be let's have a process where we're all connected, and then we'll fit in, products that solve that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's so much technology. I mean, we could have a whole conversation around AI, and everybody's like, oh, we need AI, we need AI.
Yeah.
If the AI solution that you're deploying doesn't actually tie to outcomes that
hmm
make people more money, that solve real problems, that scratch the itch that they have,
hmm
what's the point?
Right.
It
Yep.
needs to tie to the outcomes that make the business move.
Yeah. So I'd love to talk about that. So AI, I think more about automation. Like
Mhm.
that's the step that AI solves because AI is going to do repeatable tasks over and over and over again. But that's not the first step. Although it's sexy, to put a robot in charge of something. You can't just put it in charge of something. It's gonna automate something that doesn't work right, or maybe shouldn't even exist. So
Exactly.
to steal from Elon Musk because he's a smart guy, he has like a 5-step process. The first one is to make the requirements less dumb, like make the requirements simple. So I got a thumbs up on my screen. If
There
the
you
whole
go.
point is to make a sale, like just make it as easy as possible to make a sale. And then you have all these iterations where you make that more efficient. And then after you figure out your whole process, made it efficient, then you automate it. That way you're automating a successful, efficient process. Yeah. And so all this AI craze is not going to work for most people. Unfortunately, I would love it to, you
Most
know?
people don't know their business well enough to know what to automate with AI.
Right. Yeah. What, yeah. In our world, we are doing like this much with what we could do with AI. We want to do a lot, but it reveals that we're lacking systems.
Yeah, totally. What we've done, so our approach is very simple. We look at the things that we know well, and we're applying AI to those known things. So, for example, we know what happens when the phone rings at our company. So
Mhm.
we hired an AI answering system
Oh,
rather
really?
than
That's cool.
humans because
Yeah.
we know what happens. It's very
Yeah.
well understood. If someone
Right.
calls for me, it goes to this number. If someone calls for Chris, it goes to Chris. If
Nice.
someone calls with a question about sales, it goes to sales. It's a
hmm
very simple thing, very well known problem. So we solved that one.
Right.
What we did is I hired a young man who just graduated college.
hmm
He was struggling to find employment as a junior coder because AI is really disrupting that
Oh,
young coder employment base.
Hmm.
I said, listen, let's bring you on board and you're going to be our AI automation engineer. So, number one, it's giving him an opportunity to have employment, but also to build skills around AI so that he can now boost his resume. He's got a job, he's doing really cool stuff with that is probably very marketable once he doesn't work here anymore.
Hmm.
And what we've done is we've gone internally and tried to look at those processes we understand the most, and he's helping us automate them with AI so that we can get time back for all the team members. So we prioritize the list. He knocks them off one at a time, and that's the approach we're taking. But the problem, to your point, the problem has to be well understood for it to be solved with AI.
Right. Yep, exactly. And so in
No
your
magic.
circumstance, you know exactly what you do. You already have a flow chart of what happens when somebody calls you.
That's right.
Yeah, I think that's a great solution that most people can figure out, having a AI receptionist.
Our call base, so just from a cost basis, right? We're paying 1/10 of what we were paying for the other solution that was being answered by real humans.
Wow. Yeah, robots are a lot cheaper than humans.
They
So,
don't call in sick. They don't ask for vacation.
yeah. Have you seen Neo yet? It's a new like an Android that you can order for your home. It's a pre-order. It's
Hmm,
like a brand new thing.
I have
Um,
not.
it's I guess OpenAI is one of the companies. OpenAI and Samsung are the two companies I know from the list that are doing this. So for 20 grand, you can order one now, and it'll be ready next year to come to your house.
That's crazy. I mean, but there are things that robots can do. I truly believe though, that as much as I think AI is going to solve a lot of problems for people,
Yeah.
the tool plus the human is greater than the human.
Right.
And the tool plus the human is also greater than the tool.
Hmm.
You need the human
Right.
still. The
Yeah.
question is, what are the high value things the human should be doing that you no longer have to be doing lower value things because we can have the technology solve those for you. I
Mhm.
think it's going to require a lot of people to think through the value that they bring so that they can bring that higher value skill set in order to stay competitive in the market.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. When the computer became mainstream, we all got personal computers. We created more opportunities for production, not less. We didn't
That's
lose.
right.
We lost some jobs, but we gained so much more ability.
Yeah, I agree.
Same thing here. Well, I got a couple more questions for you. I'm really curious about what you see for the future for how you help people. Do you have like a roadmap for that, or a plan for how you continue to help and grow in more ways?
Yeah, for sure. The way most people when they think about sales content today, it's this thing that the marketing team gives them that they use in the sales process,
Hmm.
whatever it is. It used to be the big wall of brochures, and you would go in and pull them out, and you would go to the meeting and you put a folder in front of someone, right?
Yeah.
Now
Right.
we do all of that electronically.
Hmm.
What I see, my vision is that we have not only that, but we also have the ability now for all of that content to be hyper personalized based on who I'm going to talk to. So if
I
I'm
would. Yeah.
going to you and you live in this neighborhood, I can now make the personalize that content for the neighborhood that I'm going to, or whatever it is. Think of however your business operates. How could I personalize the things that I'm doing, the message that I'm sending, the emails, the text messages, all of that? Hyper personalization to me is the differentiator in the
Hmm.
future.
I would love to see that. I think your camera's shaking again.
It
So,
is. It is. I think it's because I moved so much. Now it's trying to catch up.
oh, it's like trying to capture you. It doesn't
Yeah.
bother me, but I'm sure that it based on how you were trying to get it right, I'm sure it's
All
frustrating
good.
you a bit, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
All good.
Plus, it just started, so it's a new thing. Well, that sounds cool. I think I think personalization is the best way to use technology going forward. And the more you can
Yeah.
do that, more custom, the more you can actually get results. So, how do people get a hold of you if they want to talk to you about automating their sales and getting more sales?
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of ways. One, I'm very active on Instagram. So Dean Curtis 23 on Instagram if you want to connect with me personally. And then our company is engage.io. I think you can see it over my shoulder here.
Oh yeah.
Ingage.io.
Hmm.
And on our website, very low friction in terms of just seeing what we do, how we help customers, how we solve problems for people. And then
Hmm.
if it's something that's of interest, just click the link to book a demo. no pressure. Our sales team loves talking to people, understanding their business and how we might be a fit or not, and then take it from there.
I wonder if we should pull up your, because we say we post this video. We could pull up your website if you want to show it off.
Hey, go for it. Ingage, INGAGE.io.
I'm gonna close this other stuff. Okay, share my screen. All right, there we go. So this is your website, Engage with an I.
That's right. So we talk about our platform in terms of powerful presentation. And the reason is if I say to you, presentation, you immediately have something that pops in your head of what a presentation is, right? It's a collection of pages that move in an order.
Mhm.
And did my screen freeze altogether? Oh no, you're sharing. Sorry.
I'm sharing my screen. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So the idea being we wanted to hook people with presentation, but I don't want you to just think it's limited to presentations. It's really about amazing sales content that is available to our customers, and you can create that for any type of device. But people think of us as the sales presentation folks.
That makes sense. So this is a show me, don't just tell me. Like it's great to
That's
tell
right.
about results, but if you show me, then I'll get the image way faster. This is cool. So this
That's
is a
right.
restoration picture you're showing off here, right?
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, the majority of our customers are in the home improvement, home services space. So you'll see a lot of that kind of content on our homepage.
Hmm.
You'll notice there the idea of that interactive before and after. And
Yeah.
the thing is, all of this is created with drag and drop interface. You don't need to be a coder. You don't need to have a PhD in design in order to create something that's truly beautiful and intentional in how you design it in order to create those interactive experiences that help you convert through educating that customer during the sales process.
Mhm. Oh wow. And this is actually works really well for multiple types of teams. Like if you have a
That's right.
group
So
of
the
teams.
idea of the sharing, right? We can share it so you can control who has access to what. You can also share any content with people outside of your company, whether you want, and it's all shared to the web, so they don't have to have a particular app. And we can set it so that those shared links can time out if you want to give them only 3 or 4 days or a week to view it. So and we also capture the analytics when you share it with someone.
Mhm.
So if I were to send you a follow-up presentation, then I would then be able to see in the analytics console, understanding whether you went and viewed that content, what pages you spent time on, how much time you spent on those pages. So it makes my follow-up that much more impactful because I can target the questions I might ask when we talk again.
Right. Yeah. You can actually see what they care about instead of
Yes,
just guessing.
100%. That's right.
I love it. Awesome, Dean. Well, thanks for showing all this stuff to us. Um, well, so I think that it's great that you're helping people with their sales process because I know how hard it is on my side. Like it's stressful. There's a lot of anxiety. I bet this creates a huge amount of confidence boosting, right?
Totally.
Good.
Absolutely. I
Well,
mean, if you can have more confident reps selling and representing your company and educating customers, you're going to convert more. It's a very
right.
simple equation.
Yeah. Well, when you're not helping people with their sales, what
Yeah.
do you have any hobbies that you do to end on a lighter note?
Yeah. My favorite thing to do is to coach lacrosse.
No way.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for lacrosse. My daughter plays lacrosse, and I am so bad at it because I just never handled the stick as a kid. And man, do you do men's or women's? Because they're very different.
Yeah. So I've coached both men and women. I have 3 daughters and 1 son.
Mm.
I coach men's lacrosse primarily now, though.
That's the brutal one where they can hit each other. Like,
Yeah. More equipment, more pads, a little more physical for sure.
oh, that's fantastic. I love the physicality. I got into Australian football this year, and I think I have a permanent dent in my forehead now from just running into somebody. And I am so glad to get into contact sports again. I used to play soccer. It's way more fun than soccer and triathlons. Because there's tackling and going on like that, but it
Yeah.
makes you tough. right?
I like to think of lacrosse as a good combination between a lot of different sports. It has the scoring of basketball, it has the physicality of hockey, it has the flow of soccer or a field sport like that. So
Yeah,
you get a lot of those different things combined into one sport, and that's super helpful.
right. Well, awesome. So, yeah, do you coach every single week? Like, is this the current? This isn't the season, is it?
No, it's a spring season, but I coach a high school team, so we have practice year round. There's always some sort of training to happen,
Mm.
and then my kids play as well. So I'm either being a supportive parent on the sideline or coaching them on the field. It's a great passion of mine.
That's fantastic. Keep doing it. You got to invest in the next generation because they're going to be our future, right?
That's 100% correct.
Wonderful. All right, Dean. Well, I think we're at the end of our time here. So thanks so much for joining me, and I'm looking forward to seeing you continue to be successful and help other people with their sales.
So grateful for you, Michael. Thanks so much.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Waste to Wealth. We sure do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you connect with us on social media and subscribe to the show wherever you consume podcasts. If you feel so inclined, please leave us a review and tell a friend about the show. Until next time.